Hello everyone, and welcome back to Evouk channel, a space for mindset, for growth, and real conversations. Today, we're gonna talk about something that a lot of guys out there quietly struggle with, but very few openly discuss or talk about. And that is why most men struggle on dating apps. If you ever feel like you're swiping endlessly with no results, or that the odds are stacked against you, you're not that far from reality. Studies confirm that dating apps create an uneven playground, where most men barely get seen, while the other tiny percentage of men enjoy all the attention and options. And you might be scratching your head wondering, well, why is this happening? Is it because of the height? Is it because of my social status? Or is there something happening behind the scenes in the design and programming of these apps that influences the results? Okay, let's break down the hidden mechanics behind dating apps, the algorithms, the appearance bias, the supply and demand imbalance, and more importantly, what men can actually do to escape the trap and improve their chances in the real world. So let's dive in. The first point I want to bring in is the inequality in matches. Research from Tinder, OkCupid, and other platforms shows that women swipe right only about 4 to 14% of the time, compared to men who swipe right more than 70% of the time. That means women are highly selective, and men are far more open. Research and analysis reveal that the top 20% of men receive about 80% of women's attention on apps. This is the Pareto principle, which is, in other words, the 80-20 principle in action. Most men are competing for a very small slice of the dating pool, while a tiny percentage of men are getting nearly all the matches. Imagine a job market where 1,000 applicants apply for one role, but only 5 even get interviews. Well, that's pretty much the digital dating world for the average guy out there. As a result, they experience a sense of insignificance, frustration, and question their own value. Another point to bring here, and that is a major challenge, is the height filter. Many women set 6 feet as the minimum requirement, even though only 14% of American men are 6 feet or taller. This automatically excludes the majority of men for even being considered. On top of that, dating apps prioritize quick visual decisions. Appearance dominates the process, meaning qualities like income, intelligence, humor, or kindness barely get factored in during that first swipe. This creates a system where the value of a lot of men is flattened to a single picture, reducing complex human beings to a snapshot and a height stat. Another key point is the supply and demand imbalance. Dating apps also suffer from a gender imbalance. Studies show that men make up a much larger proportion of users than women. This means women face an overwhelming number of options and can afford to be extremely selective. Men, on the other hand, are competing with each other in an oversaturated market. The analogy here is supply and demand. When supply is high and demand is limited, the price goes down. For men, this means their value on dating apps is artificially deflated, even if in real life they might be great partners with stable careers, with great social skills and ambition. The abundance of choices also raises women's standards. When a woman has 100 men competing for her attention, it is natural for her to raise the bar, even to unrealistic levels. Now, let's talk about the business model of dating apps. We have to keep in mind that dating apps are not designed to help you find real and meaningful relationships quickly. They're designed to keep you swiping. For example, platforms like Tinder or Bumble reportedly boost new accounts in the beginning, making men feel successful early on. They're like, whoa, getting all these matches. But once that honeymoon phase ends, visibility is suppressed, pushing users to pay for premium features like boost, super likes, or gold subscriptions. Think of it like a casino. The system gives you just enough wins to keep you playing, but the house always wins in the long run. For average men, this means sinking money into a platform that doesn't guarantee any results. For the fortunate small percentage of men, However, the algorithm and organic attention keep them at the top without needing to pay one single dime. In short, the business model profits out of men's frustration and women's selectivity. What a great deal! Now, what about gender expectations and biases? Well, on top of everything, there are gender double standards at play. Men are expected to open conversations with witty and engaging lines, while women can often get away with a simple "hey." Then you try texting her back with something like "hey, down to meet this weekend?" And then ghosted. This makes the process a lot more frustrating and demanding for a lot of guys out there, having to constantly work harder to stand out. On the other hand, there are a lot of fake follower-driven profiles, especially those with overly sexualized photos. Many of these accounts are bots, marketing schemes, or just girls trying to suck you into their social media accounts for you to follow them, which wastes your time, your energy, and creates even more discouragement for men seeking genuine connections. When you put all these factors together, the skew statistics, the high filters, the appearance bias, the supply and demand imbalance, and manipulative business practices, it is no surprise that so many men feel like the system is not built in their favor. And all of this leads to the next point I'm gonna bring, which is the psychological toll. Repeated rejection, or worse, complete invisibility, takes a toll over time. Psychologists refer to these as micro-rejections, and they add up time to time. A study in Computers in Human Behavior found that men who frequently use dating apps report higher levels of loneliness and lower self-esteem. The cycle becomes similar to gambling addiction, endless swipes with very little to no rewards. And even when matches happen, many men find conversations one-sided or short-lived, reinforcing feelings of not being good enough. For that top small group of men, though, the problem is the complete opposite. They deal with a lot of choices. It's almost like an overload of choices, making it harder to value any single connection. So even for them, that abundance doesn't guarantee any real fulfillment. Now, despite all of the points brought up here, the question is, what can you do to improve your chances outside of the dating apps? First, focus on real-life interactions. Dating apps compress value into superficial traits. In person, qualities like charisma, humor, emotional intelligence, and confidence can really boost your attractiveness. Joining social activities, fitness groups, networking events, or even dance classes creates an organic and more seamless opportunity where you're not competing with hundreds of filter profiles. Second, build a strong mindset and lifestyle. Mindset is the foundation. Rather than chasing validation on apps, work on your personal growth, on your fitness, and social confidence. These qualities makes you magnetic in real life, where competition isn't as exaggerated. Third, leverage specific groups or communities. Instead of swiping endlessly on mainstream apps, consider platforms or communities tied up to your interest. Travel groups, hobby clubs, or professional organizations. Share values create stronger bonds than looks alone. Fourth, detach your worth from dating apps. The biggest trap is tying your value to swipe results. Remember, the system is designed against you. Your worth should not be measured by an algorithm, and your dating success doesn't have to depend on these platforms. And that's that, my friends. Let me know your own experiences in the comment sections below. If this episode has been helpful for you, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. If you also think this video can be helpful to someone you know, please share it, share this content, and spread the word. That will be very much appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in your next episode. Evouk.